everybody. Oh, I forgot to remove my music in my house. Hello, Marilyn. So who's first today? Oh, Marilyn. And then Tracy. Who's here? Come say hi. Yes, you definitely beat Remy, but he's at work. I don't know if Marilyn's at home today. Awesome. I brought myself coffee, but I think it's cold. Semi-cold, like always. Kids. How was everyone's week? I have been crazy busy. Like, it seems that there's not enough hours in one day. Hello, Amy. It seems that I would need 36 hours a day to make sure that I can keep up with everything. Because, the kids are still in school, so there's so many homework every night, and then I'm trying to introduce new theme nights. I want to introduce, what's it called, game night. So we have pizza night. I would like to introduce game night every 2 weeks. So I'm teaching the kids every couple of days new games. But only my youngest and my eldest is playing with me. My middle son does not want to play games at the moment. He wants to play outside because the snow is melting. Every morning he wants to go outside with no shoes. But this morning it's -4 Celsius without the winds. I think it was -8. Yeah, it was -8 this morning with the windshield. And he wanted to leave with no pants, no overall, and no boots. I'm like, you're nuts. Hello, Dave. Yeah, I was supposed to go live yesterday. And then it was -6 degrees Celsius in the high tunnel. And I started panicking. And I had to examine everything. And then I went full on damage control, take out my trace, and then I saw that it was 11 because I was finishing up one thing and then seeing something else and then seeing something else, and then I lost track of time. No, I did not try my soil blocker that looks like a little mini castle. It's in my grow room right now. I can go get it if you want to see it. Told Trevor that there wasn't enough time to do what I want to do. I can't believe he wants me to. I don't have time for naps at the moment. I do take, I've introduced something new. I'm going to sound like an old grandma. But every night I took out this old book. And I'm doing crosswords, Sudoku, and I'm trying to relieve my mind of everything. And then 15 minutes before I go to bed, I try to read, to completely log off. Because I can, as soon as I get up, my brain is one thing after the other. Take care of the kids, do the lunch, do this, do that, go bring the Cedric to school, make sure that my two eldest leave in time for the bus. So when I come home at 8, I have this 10-15 minutes where I relax, but the brain always works. So I try to have at least an hour a day where I don't think. I would love to crochet and to knit, but I can't take out my yarn just yet. Luna. She found one of my balls of yarn. I was working on a throw covers for my sister, and she had loads of fun with it. So that's why I'm reading. And this is actually, my mind is working. So there's logistics, and I have to think, find words. So I find that this is educational and relaxing at the same time. and I do try to go to bed a little earlier than usual because I feel like I said this, I think, this week to Annie. I'm not tired, but when I go to bed at night, I feel like I'm near that exhaustion that comes during the summer. So I'm trying to be very, very careful. I don't do power naps. I do meditations. I think it's almost the same thing. And the meditations that I'm doing, they're about 10 to 15 minutes. So I haven't done enough to realize if it does make a difference. But right after lunch, I have like this meditation session that I try to shut down my brain for at least 10 minutes. Yeah. I haven't even thought of the conference. That's how busy I am. I'm so excited to go. And I am trying to make sure that everything that is urgent that gets done, because the conference is May 6th, I think. And that means all my cold hardy crops have to be transplanted and all my root vegetables sown because it's April 30th. So I have to do everything between March 20th and May 5th. And in there, I have 3 birthdays and Mother's Day. So I have to make sure that within the next 5 weeks, everything is done. Like urgent to make sure that when I go at the conference, I can enjoy myself and not think of the garden. But it's true, 5 weeks. 5 weeks before the conference. I have to go check the people that are talking to see which information session I'm going to be going. So what did you guys plant this week? What did you work on? And today I brought some of my stuff with me. I'm not up to date with my garden journal, but I did finish sowing all my crops of brassicas, cabbages, cauliflower, all of that. I sowed all my pak choi, spinach, kohlrabies, kale. Then I sowed eggplant, hyssop. This is a new medicinal herb I have introduced in my garden a couple of years ago. And usually it comes back every year, but I always sow a couple to make sure. And my buzzing little friends really, really like it when I let it go to seed. Then coneflower, that's echinacea. For a reason, my yellow echinacea grows from seed every single year. And the seeds that I bought for purple echinacea is not sprouting. So I think it's one of the first package of seeds I bought. So I think I'm going to take the package of seed and just like I have 2 places in front of my house that I want coneflowers to grow. I think I'm just going to empty the seed package outside and put a bit of soil over it and then relocate them because it's the 3rd year that I try to grow these from seeds and they never grow. Then I sowed my hot peppers. I sowed all my tomatoes. I didn't see if you mentioned that you wanted to see the soil blocker, Mechelen, because I think you popped in, popped out. So all of my little tomatoes, I sowed them in the little mini soil blockers, so the 3/4 inch. So it's the cube's about the size of my pinky, like this, 3/4 of an inch. And I needed 110 plants, but some of my seeds are older. So I at least have 200 seeds of tomatoes sown. Machelen's gonna laugh with me. If every year this happens to me, my seeds are old, I sow more, and I have like a 75% germination rate, and I'm stuck with so many tomato plants. and I have no idea what to do with them because I only need 110. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to squeeze one here. I'm going to squeeze one here and then squeeze one here. And then I have this homesteader Tetris thing going on. What else? So I finished showing my Brussels sprouts, my ground cherries. I tried tomatillos. I had seeds. I have yellow tomatillos and purple, and then all my peppers. And yesterday, I sowed lettuce. I also sowed 5 trays of beets. That's in my tunnel right now. So in the day, they have nothing on them. And at night, I put a dome over them and a row cover. And I'm hoping to mimic the winter sowing method because 5 trays of 72 plug trays times 5, it's a lot of seeds. So I'm hoping that this works because my sowing station is not done. So I only have 2 shelves. And morning and night, I bring out 9 trays. So right now, it's a little bit still chilly. It's in the tunnel right now. It's 3.9 degrees. So I'm going to wait that it's 5 degrees Celsius, go remove the domes, and start taking out my 9 trays outside. And at least that way my station inside does not heat up, because every year I reach 25 to 30 degrees Celsius in the growing space where all my seedlings are. So this year I'm trying to utilize the tunnel to have like a better, all healthier plant. And then I have to do the very labor intensive to go bring out the trays outside and then bring them back inside. But I have to say, and I'm going to film this because I'm 90% sure that I have succeeded the first time my brassicas. Last year, I sold 3 or 4 sessions of brassicas and they all died. And Marilyn is the one that suggested to sow them in the tunnel. I will have better overall, healthier plants. And I did that. And that was mid-April, I think. Early April, mid-April. So this year, I tried to have some for my early crop in the tunnel and they all died. So my kale died, my cabbages died, and my Asian cabbage died. So it's probably, there's too much heat coming out of my grow lights. So my regular season stuff that I started sowing on March 16th, I just sowed them and brought them outside. So they're outside all day and then they come back every night. And they are super, super, super healthy. They are way better than what I would do inside. So I know that I'm going to be this, as soon as I can see the 2 new leaves of the cabbages, the broccoli, and the cauliflower, the kohlrabi, all of those leaves, as soon as I see true leaves coming out, I'll be making a film and I'll be showing you a little bit of what I did for the visual people out there. But my Asian cabbages, they look amazing. And this year I am trying red Asian cabbage, which is called Miss Hung, and another red one. They're beautiful. Like, I'm growing them just for their beauty, and I'm hoping I'll be able to ferment them to do kimchi. It's going to be like beautiful, all different colors, and I do hope that I can harvest Asian cabbages this year with like least amount of bug damage. Let me catch up on messages. Hello, Shoham. It does smell like spring, but we have an April Fool's going on. Like, I just checked my temperature, and it's supposed to be -9 Celsius with wind chill almost -20. Nothing to sow, I think, but I have to transplant some celery and peppers. Next week on my list, I'm going to have to start transplanting some of my tomatoes. They started germinating. Some of my peppers also. I did do a video of celery seeds where I germinate 2 ways with mini soil blockers and with a Scott towel. The one that I just took the Scott towel and just put it in a little container. It's doing amazing. And I had so many seedlings in there. I decided I was going to separate 50 of them and put them in a 50 cell tray, which I did yesterday. And I left another 50 in there in the crate, little crate, 5x8 little crate, hoping that the ones that is there has a better overall success. And the other way that I did the celery seeds is with the mini soil blockers. I up pot them into 2 inches, and they're also doing great. Yeah, we don't have room left. I still have room. I still have lights. But during the day, the temperature's getting way too warm in that little area. So I'm utilizing the tunnel and saving a little bit of energy. I'm the one evacuating energies and calories when I go back and forth to the tunnel. Okay, so I'll go get it. I'll just finish catching up on comments. The benches in the greenhouse are full. Yeah. I need to negotiate with my husband a table, because if I am doing this, I'm going to have a boatload of tomatoes that's going to need acclimated outside. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. I know when I cross the bridge, I'll figure it out. Last year, Boreal Homestead had no more place in her growing room. So what she did is she had a 12-hour shift. So in the morning, she would switch up the trays that were in her grow station, then put it on a station that had no lights, and then take the ones that had no light and put it. So it was a 24-hour thing going on, but she was moving around the trays. She made it work that way. I'm hoping that I won't have to do that, but it could be something I will have to do. Oh yeah, room. I think I have to construct an intention. Yeah, definitely. A seedling greenhouse will definitely, at least I need an 8x8, 8x10 greenhouse for my seedlings next year. I have to fit that somewhere. I don't know where. I might have to sacrifice a garden bed, a raised bed garden to have that, because we're removing the heat source right now that we never plugged in the greenhouse, which is a wood burning stove. And we wanted to buy the diesel heater that we saw on a couple channel. But after speaking to a friend of Annie from Mama Homemade, she's having a hard time gauging the heat. So I know my husband is tech savvy. He loves those types of challenges. And he's actually working on a temperature gauge that I can, I would have like a tablet in my kitchen. It would tell me the temperature inside at multiple different locations in the tunnel. And then we're going to add a window that has a hinge on it. And when it gets too warm, it would open up and it would tell me on that place. So I would standardize the tunnel with temperatures, and I would all be able to see it on a tablet. So we're working on that. He loves doing those things. So if I bring in the diesel heater, he's going to have to play again around with logistics of a controller, and he's looking into adding that device that he's working on. If we can add on the diesel heater, it would be amazing. I cannot have 100% seal greenhouse right now because of the way it's a temple structure. So there's still cracks here and there. So it would never be 100% sealed. But a window greenhouse or a, what do you call them? Patio door greenhouse. Or there's those transparent plastic, they're roofing for pergolas. There's different ways that you can do 100% sealed in greenhouse. I would definitely heat that. And if it's an 8x10, I would be able to buy a heating source, electric heating source, and plug it inside the house because like everything is near. Like my land is not very big, and we did have one last year, but it broke. It was like an old thing we bought on Marketplace, and after 2 years, it died on us. So I would love to have that window greenhouse. It would be amazing. Hey, Darren and Bridget. Hope you're having an amazing morning as well. I do have a wood burning stove in there, but it's not connected. I've been waiting for a long time. We have to modify the back end of the tunnel. So that means we have to put galvanized roofing. I think it's 3 panels, and there was something else we needed to do. Yeah, the back end, we have to, because it's wood, like the structure is wood, so we have to change a little bit of that. So there's a lot of logistics, and he feels like the diesel would be way easier on us. We'll see. We'll see. No worries. Have a nice day. We'll chat later on. Winter sowing for me last year was fun. But what I didn't like is I had to store all those bottles. And then I sowed 4 to 6 seeds per little 4-liter water jugs. And some of them were looking good overall. They were looking way better than the ones I started inside. But they were a little bit leggy. And it's the storing of the water jugs that bugs the hell out of me. So that's why I am trying the 72 plug trays with the domes. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to try next year 50 plug trays so they have a little bit more soil. And I'll do the domes. But they're inside my tunnel all the time. Nice. So I also transplanted all of my stuff in the tunnel. So I have right now, not all my stuff. So I still have to transplant my beets and sow turnips. And I had till today to do that. I have no idea if I'll be able to do it, but I transplanted lettuce, green onions. I have kale that came back from last year. I have 2 Asian cabbage that survived the winter that might do something. Sowed some radishes. And then arugula. I had some cilantro. I had some Swiss chard and some fennel. So I planted all of that. And I checked before planting the forecast, and it looked all good. And then we had this, after that night, we had this big wind blow in, and it changed all the forecast. And it's been 2 nights that it's -6 degrees Celsius under the row covers. So I am a little bit worried right now. It's 10 o'clock, and under the row covers right now, it's about 5 degrees. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer to go remove the covers. And I watered everything very deeply, so I'm hoping that everything survives. Usually it's -5 that they can resist. So I'm hoping I didn't do all that work of sowing for 1 month earlier to get some food and then get bitten in the butt with 2 -6 degrees Celsius. And I have one more over the weekend, so I have to find a way to cover. I'm going to take out old drapes I have around the house, bedspreads, and I'm just going to cover all of that to have a second layer of protection, because I did do 3 trays of food so I can eat one earlier and weigh in more food for the Global Gardening and Homesteading Community Challenge. Chives, awesome. I have some chives, garlic chives that I've grown since seed. I wanted to acclimate at least one and put it in the tunnel for it to come back year after year after year. But that's on the long to-do list. I'm going to do a setup in a grow room today. Maybe try a set of winter sow as soon. Nice! Are 2 windows in the greenhouse open automatically? I think there is beeswax or something in them. You can set them to open to turning. Yeah, we saw that those automatic it's window openers. They're on Amazon, the one that I saw. We don't have windows. We just wanted to do like a frame and put the plastic that we have so we can create some sort of window, or we might pick up some windows on the curb. Hello, Remy. Hello, Templin Acres. Sorry. Remy's not a ghost. We would love to have a temperature gauge in the greenhouse that records the temp overnight so we know how cold it gets in there and say we got at the moment right now I did do a video about the tools that I'm using. There is a live temperature gauge that I have that has 3 sensors. So it doesn't record overnight, but we have something called AQARA Home. And it's an app. I used to use them for my freezers because we lost one entire freezer to our. Actually, no, we lost a fridge and a freezer because our kids wanted to plug something in the while we were in renovation, and they unplugged everything. And I lost everything in that freezer. All my vegetables from the garden I have frozen. So cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, rhubarb. I had all sorts. It was full and it thawed out. We didn't realize it. So we got that for the freezers. And this is what it looks like. Wait. And this one is my tunnel. And I have record of like overall at night at every single hour. And then this is during the day. And then this was last night. So I'm going to say it again. It's called Aquara Home. AQARA Home. We bought sensors and we just downloaded the app. But we're working on something a little bit more for my needs, like something I can manage from the house with the windows and the heat and stuff like that. I want to add 12 feet on the greenhouse and put compost inside to heat. That would be great. That would be great. If I had space for my greenhouse and I would have like a regular door, not a makeshift door, I would separate my greenhouse in two. Like 20 feet for, like I would add 20 feet to my greenhouse. I would have 40 feet total tunnel, which I can't. But the first 20 feet, I would add all my animals with compost. And then midwinter, I would flip them on the other side and then like have another compost station thing going on so that in the spring, I have beautiful compost ready on one side and then I can let the second side rest. But I can't do that here. Oh no! I hope you get some sleep after all of this. Yep, we made out windows for the greenhouse, just cut plexiglass to the size we want. Drill. Yeah, okay. I'm hoping that we'll be able to do it. If I can't, I was looking into getting a shade cloth for half of the greenhouse for where my seedlings are, because like the variation, I don't know if you see the what I just showed. So the highest yesterday that it reached was 20 degrees because it's still cold outside. But last week I reached 32 degrees Celsius. And that's why I have to keep an eye on all of my sensors. So I have one on my phone, and I have one in the kitchen, and hourly and every, like, overall all day long, I just check what's happening in the tunnel, because I have to go open the front door. And opening the front door, I have to put like this makeshift thing of that my chickens, if ever they run away from their chicken run, doesn't go in the tunnel. Or I have a Houdini professional escapee rabbit. I cannot put this rabbit in a cage. I cannot put the rabbit, like, he gets out of every single situation. This little always escapes, and he's very good at getting inside the tunnel. So I have to make like this thing that he won't go inside. So if I had at least 2 windows that I could open in that a box fan, there would be an air circulation going on, and I would not have to open my greenhouse door, so that I can keep the tunnel around 20 degrees Celsius. So Darren, look at Earth battery system to store heat in the ground and bring it back up at night. That'd be nice. I did have a friend that mentioned that she's going to add concrete slabs, you know, those 18 inches by 18 inches slab in her walkway path. And she wants to add red bricks around her garden beds to retain the heat at night. It all depends how big her tunnel is, but that's what she's implementing this year to retain some of the heat. And she also has, that's the person I talked about that has the diesel heater in her tunnel, and she has a converted structure just like mine. I brought my notes, so if ever I forgot to say stuff, let me see. Did I forget something? Oh, there is something I forgot. So I am doing a trial for the tunnel of 3 things, and I did mention it in a couple of videos. I sowed some peas. I sowed some beans, bush beans, and some zucchini. And the peas will be acclimated next week. The beans, it all depends how cold it gets next week. I might acclimate them also in the tunnel and then transplant them the week after that. Same thing for the peas. And the zucchinis, all depends of the night temperatures, but as soon as I can acclimate them, they'll go in the tunnel. And I am hoping to have zucchini in the tunnel by the end of the month of May. Mid-May, end of the month of May. Same thing with the peas, same thing with the beans. So I am trying to bring in more food a month earlier. Okay, so I found the Aquaterra temp sensors. Do you need the hub to go with it? So for the greenhouse, we have like this circular black thing, and I think my husband calls it a hub. What's it called? Yeah, I think we have a hub. What I can do is I can ask him, Darren, and I can give you more information. I'm going to write to him now so I don't forget. Okay, I'll let you know, Darren. I think he bought them on Amazon. My buddy who I got the greenhouse design from is working on perfecting on earth battery in his greenhouse. Once he's done. Nice! Alberta! That's colder than you. Bienvenue! Bienvenue! I know that freezer-wise, some of the sensors stopped working. Probably because it was too cold. But I am hoping that for now they survive the heat. But Fred, that's how we started with so that we can have overhaul temperature gauge in the tunnel. But I will keep you posted. Okay. Did I forget anything? What will you guys be sowing this week? I know I have lots of flowers to sow. Lots of herbs. Oregano is one of them. I have to cut my onion greens because they are super, 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 super long. I have to prep my 2 garden beds in the tunnel. But this is where I have no idea what I'll do with the seed trays that's on my beds right now. So that's one of the logistics I have to deal with this week. Where will I store my trays? Because I'll be planting soon. I'll be planting just after the conference. I think I saw my plantain. Nice! Oh, I did promise I was going to go get the soil blocker I wanted to show you guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is my 4-inch soil blocker. It's big. So this is the size, a little bit smaller, of the 2-inch. So I'm hoping that this little dude will help me overall with all the storage that I have. So I'm getting rid of all my round 4-inch pots. I'm getting rid of my square 2-inch pots, and I have a lot. And I will be only keeping my 3.5-inch pots in that. And everything else, all the mismatch, everything that people bring me every year, because I have friends, family, when they come to visit me, they bring me pots. My father brings me mushroom crates, yogurt containers. Thank God he stopped that last year. I have friends, when they plant their garden, they keep everything, but they're all mixed match. They don't fit in one inside the other. So I have 2 big Rubbermaid crates filled with all those mismatch, and it's annoying. So the only thing I would think is, since I'm doing a seed sale every year, I could keep the round ones for herbs, flowers, and the 2-inch, I could maybe do brassicas, celery, like my overstock, and then like liquidate my stock that way. But I am trying to have as less storage as possible, because when we talked about moving 5 years ago, and I put my house into boxes, well, our lives into boxes, and we moved here, It was a nightmare. There was boxes everywhere. And now I'm thinking 5 years later, I started canning. I started seeds, like collecting seeds, collecting trays, collecting this, blah, blah, blah. If ever we move, it's going to take us like a 53-footer and maybe more to move. That's not counting the logistics of all the berry bushes that I would want to move, all the cuttings that I want to bring with me, all the mason jars that I bring. So, if I can get rid of some stuff, it would be nice if ever we do move. Darren, if you're still here, the University of Minnesota have a YouTube video on earth batteries. Hey me, ha ha ha, hee hee hee. Watching Curtis Stone, he is on a mountain off-grid and heats his greenhouse. Nice. Am I caught up? So as promised, I will be doing, there's more videos of the soil blocking that I'll be doing. The benefits, the 4-inch soil blocker, this is going to stay like my feet. And there is another video also that I wanted to do. And I want to show you also what they look like just before I transplant them. The video that I'm working on editing right now, I am showing a little bit, like one, but it's the 2-inch. So I want to show you the 3/4, the 1.5, the 2, and the 4, like a last overall at the end of summer. And I might, for my French speaking people, I might do the like similar videos for my French channel. I don't know yet when I'll do that because it is a lot of work to like work mini series and all of that. But I might do it, maybe not now, but overall this summer. The big 4. Woohoo! Hello, Melissa. How are you? I'm scared to plant more. I don't know how I'm getting the house 50 up potted tomato plants. You know, you quickly realize as a homesteader that it is an ongoing joke when you're a gardener that you will always lack space for your seedlings. Because if you need 50 plants, you need to sow at least 75. But then on the 75, you'll have more than 50. So you always have the logistics of having more. But you always have casualties all the time. So I always make sure to keep extras because like I decapitated so many tomato plants before I even get chance of putting them outside. And then when they are outside, something happens and I drop a pot or whatever. And I always have to keep a couple to make sure that I have like 10 items of this specific plant. Luna? Okay, Luna was making a weird noise. We're not bad influencers. We are? I did that? I influenced you to have a space issues with your tomato plants? I know! I am. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Some of my plants sometimes has suckers, so I remove the suckers, and then instead of removing the sucker, I cut the head off of my plants. Or last year, what happened also? My lights dropped on an entire row of tomato seedlings, so they burnt most of them. I was able to save some, but the light was all over my tomato plants and like they were just leaning on the plant. There's also one thing I have a hard time doing. when I have too many plants and I can't sell them, I can't kill them. I feel like a bad mom, a bad gardener, a bad person when I kill a plant. So I always try to find a spot for all of them. But then I have nightmares going on in the garden. Like I have tomato plants that they're neglected. They're not even trellised. They're just on the floor, living their worst possible life. So I'm like, might as well put them in the compost pile. But it's like carrots. I sow carrots and I'm supposed to thin carrots so that I can have them in 55 days. But I can't. Like I have a hard time killing carrots. So I'm definitely trying this year to save seeds and save time. That method with cornstarch. Like let them Mallory did a video on that. I think you let them sprout just a little bit, and then in that very thick thing, Ziploc, you just sow them. So I might not kill as much carrots. Because by doing that, instead of taking 50, 55 days and then me flipping the garden bed and then planting something after, I end up having all summer long that garden bed with carrots. I do try to save them also. Sometimes I have to come to the conclusion that there's only one of me and I can't do it all. So sometimes I have to make a choice. The snow kale has a chance to grow. I saw that. You did a video that you planted a kale in snow because Robert was planting something in soil. Is that video you're talking about? I failed my tomato plant last year, but a local gardener gave... Nice! Next year, I'm debating on going to my local nursery, and he has organic certified plants. He sells them a little bit more. I'm debating on, for time management and my mental health, if I ask him, if I buy it in bulk, if he would make me a price. Because I am seeing this year for 2 items. So for tomatoes and peppers. I would probably still do like my lovely heirloom tomatoes, slicers, but I'm talking like heavy producers for my peppers and heavy producers for my tomatoes. Because I feel this year like a chicken with no head running all the time. Like I'm always behind and I can't keep up. So he has Roma tomatoes, and he also has another type of it. Like he has 2 types of Italian tomatoes. I think I'm going to ask him if he would do it for me next year. Like obviously I would have to reserve and probably put a deposit. But I'm seriously thinking of doing it to help me out next year. There are some plants, when you thin them and you relocate them, they will not grow or they'll die. Like cucumber plants the roots hates to be disturbed. Cucumber, melon, squash, what's the other one? Beans. A lot of them don't like to be disturbed. So that's why some of them you direct sow them. There's another one. I'm trying to think of another one. Like tomato plants, if you multi-sow them and you up-pot them, it's fine. But pepper plants, I wouldn't do that because it's such a delicate plant that it probably will like be stunt and then overall not have good success. Okay, so I didn't hallucinate. Like I've been playing your lists and in the background, but I don't have my planting station like you right next to my TV. So sometimes I come in the kitchen, I see you, in like you're doing some stuff on your tractor, and I saw that like you were planting something in the snow, and then I saw Robert plant something in the soil. I was like, what the? But then I saw the title of your video and it made me laugh. My kale that was sown from last year in the tunnel in late fall survived the entire winter under a row cover that I left there. In my 2 Chinese cabbages survived. The rest died. So I have 3 very healthy looking kale plant. One I'm not sure what's going to do. I had 3 Chinese cabbages that popped up. 1 died, and then 2 seems to be doing something. I don't know. I've never done this. So the frost came too fast and they looked like they died, and then they just came back this year. So I'm not sure if they'll do something for me. It'll be fun to have 2 Asian cabbage. They should be starting doing something maybe. I amended the bed 2 days ago and fertilized it with compost. It should start doing something. Well, I'm hoping. I do hope that your kale plant survives. Well, guys, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll let you have, most of you are still at work. I have loads to do. Actually, I think before I have an answer. If Darren, are you still here? If you're still here, Darren, well, I'll still message you anyways. My husband says that the hub is necessary for the Aqua sensor system, but I'll message you. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna catch up on Sunday with you guys. I am working on editing a video for what I planted in the tunnel and preparing the beds and all of that. And I'm not gonna do a video every day like I did in the month of March. It was a challenge that I was doing. It was hashtag March 31 challenge or something like that. And I'm probably going to be going back to 3 videos a week and educational shorts here and there. I have tomatoes planted from last year that needs. What do you mean? Like you sowed tomatoes in December? Are they dwarf tomatoes? I forgot to do something. I did want to thank so Remy, a couple of, I think 2 weeks ago, gifted memberships for 5 people. And so Roger Cormier, Melissa from Little House by the Big Wood, in the Big Woods, Marilyn, Will It Grow, and Rebel Canner. And Will It Grow was the 5 people that benefit from that gift. So I want also to say special thanks to Remy, again Marilyn, Angie and Mike, Tracy and Tammy, the 9 of you supporting the membership area, but they have survived my bad gardening. I'm not sure what happened with your tomatoes. So if you didn't catch on, I do now have a membership that you can sign up. You have behind the scenes videos, pictures, and tips and tricks that I don't normally share on my regular videos. So if you want to have access to that, there's always links in the description of every video if you want to have access to that, and it's 99 cents per month. So I will chat with you guys next Sunday. Take care, everyone. Bye.